Hello students. So in the last lecture we discussed the basics related to shear reinforcement and we also solved a numerical regarding shear reinforcement. Today we will be solving furthermore two numericals regarding it which are of different methods, and this will be our last topic in this chapter, that is development length and shear reinforcement. So moving further, we are going to see our today's first numerical, and the question here is: a singly RC beam 230 cross 460 mm effective is reinforced with 5 numbers of 16 mm dia bars as tension reinforcement. That means AST is given in the question. The beam is subjected to a factored shear force of 60 kilonewton. A factored shear force is given, so no need to multiply it by 1.5. Directly VU is given as over 60 kilonewton. Designed for shear reinforcement using M20 concrete and Fe415 steel. So we need to design the stirrups and we need to provide the spacing for it. So we will be starting with the sum. The first step will always be to find tau v and tau c and to compare the relation between tau v and tau c. There can be two possibilities: tau v can be less than tau c or tau v can be greater than tau c. If tau v again comes to be equal to tau c, then also we will be assuming it to be greater than tau c, as we have discussed in the last video. So the first thing will be to calculate the tau v, and for that we will be calculating first the AST, which will be requiring later on. So as 5 numbers of 16 mm diameter bars are given, AST will be 5 into pi by 4 into 16 square, which comes out to be 1005.3 mm square. Now we will be getting tau v from this equation that is mentioned in page number 72 of your IS code. We will be using this equation, that is tau v equal to VU by BD. VU will be our shear force, and the shear force is already given in question as 60 kilonewton. So substituting the value here in terms of Newton, it will be 60 into 10 raised to 3 and divided by the cross section area, that is B into D. We get a value tau v equal to 0.567 Newton per mm square. And the second step will always be to find tau c. Tau c, that is, tau stands for shear stress and c is for concrete. So shear strength for concrete or shear strength of concrete, that we will be obtaining from the table 19 mentioned in page number 73 of your IS code. And for that we will be identifying or we will be calculating the first column. The first column is for PT, so we will be using or we will be solving PT first, and PT comes out to be 0.95. The value of PT comes out to be 0.95, and as you can see in the first column, 0.95 value is not directly mentioned here, so we need to interpolate it. Now most of the students might be knowing interpolation, some might not be knowing what is interpolation, how to do it. So we will be looking interpolation in depth, that how to interpolate this. So interpolation is a mathematical expression which is used to find a particular value that falls in a certain range. So here we need to find the range that belongs to our actual value. So our actual value is 0.95%, clear? That is of PT, which we need to find from the column 1. And as 0.95 is not mentioned, we need to see the higher value and the lower value that is in between this term, that is 0.95. So 0.95 falls between this 0.75 and 1. So we need to interpolate it in between 0.75 and 1. And how to interpolate? First we will be looking at this grade M20, as it is mentioned in question as M20 concrete. So we need to relate these two values, that is for 0.75 the tau c is 0.56 and for 1 the tau c value is 0.62. So our final value comes in between 0.56 and 0.62. So we will do now interpolation, that is the first value is 0.75 and for 0.75 the value of tau c is 0.56 as per our table. The second highest value is 1 and for it the value of tau c is 0.62. Now for interpolation we need to take the difference of these values, that means LHS portion and RHS portion. In the LHS portion you can see here that the value increases by 0.25. The up arrow indicates that the values are increasing and the down arrow will indicate that the values are decreasing. And in the RHS portion you can see here that the values are increasing by 0.06. Here again the values are been increasing 0.06. Now we will focus on the value that we need. That is, we are going to find the value for 0.95. This will be our term 1 and this will be our term 2. So to find the value of 0.95, how much value to be added in term 1? Clear? That means we need to add 0.2 in term 1 to get the value 0.95. So we will be using that. For 0.2, how much increase will occur? For that we will be using this term as x, and we need to cross multiply this and find the value of x. That means x will be equal to 0.06 into 0.2 divided by 0.25. This will be our value of x, which comes out to be 0.048. Again, this is not our final answer, this is just the value of x. That means this value that we are identified, it comes out to be 0.048. Clear? Now how to identify this value, that is for 0.95. Here you can see that 0.95 falls between this range, that is between 0.75 and 1. Clear? So how much have we increased from 0.75 to reach 0.95? We have increased 0.2. Clear? And for 0.2 we are getting the value this, that is 0.048. Now we will be using this term, that is this arrow. This arrow could be increase or decrease. It all depends upon this final answer. If the arrow is increasing, then we will be adding in this term to get our final answer. And if the arrow is downward, that is decreasing, then we will be subtracting from this first term, that is 0.056, to get our final answer. So our x is 0.048. So we will be adding this term here in 0.56 to get our final answer, which comes out to be 0.608. And rounding it off, it comes out to 0.61, which is our final answer after interpolating. Clear? So make a note of it, write it and practice it, that how interpolation works. Interpolation works in this way. It is the simplest method or mathematical term to find a particular value that is in the range. Clear? So our tau c will be 0.61, as we have got it by interpolation. So moving further, we can see that tau v was 0.567 and tau c is obtained as 0.61. So we get the relation that tau v is less than tau c. In the previous sum that we calculated, we got tau v greater than tau c. So this is our second method in this chapter, that what comes or what to do when tau v is less than tau c. So whenever tau v is less than tau c, we will always design as per minimum shear reinforcement criteria. Clear? And what is minimum shear reinforcement criteria? We have discussed in the steps that we have seen. Clear? So moving further, for minimum shear reinforcement, you need to go to page number 48 of your IS code. From page 48, you will be getting this clause, that is 26.5.1.6, and you will be solving or you will be calculating SV from this term or this value. Clear? Now in the last sum, we used 8 mm dia stirrups. Here it is not mentioned in question. You can still use 8 mm diameter stirrups, but here for just a change or getting a different answer on something, I have used here 6 mm dia. It is not mandatory unless it is asked in question to use the specific diameter of stirrup. Here I have used 6 mm diameter MS, that is mild steel stirrups, and 2-legged vertical stirrups. In the last lecture we have seen what is 2-legged, 4-legged and 6-legged stirrups. Clear? So first we will need to calculate the area of stirrup. Here ASV will be an area of stirrup. So it will be for 2-leg stirrups, it will always be 2 into pi by 4, 6 square, which comes out to be 56.55. So in this equation we will be making SV as our subject. Here in this equation we will be making SV our subject, and we will be calculating the SV, that is spacing of bars. Again keep in mind, the Fy we will be substituting for stirrups. So stirrups we will be using always of mild steel, so Fy will always be 250 for mild steel. So substituting 250 here, we get a value 130 mm. Here we get a value 130 mm. Now checks. Here the checks will be same that we have discussed earlier. There are 3 checks. The first check that we already done, it is minimum shear criteria, and the remaining 2 checks were, first was 0.75D and the second was 300 mm. Clear? So 0.75D comes out to be 345 And second criteria being 300 mm, we will always be providing the smallest value of this. For minimum or for tau v less than tau c, we will be getting 3 answers, and for tau v greater than tau c, we will be getting 4 answers. So finally we'll be providing the spacing value which is smallest of 3 in this case, which comes out to be 130 mm. Now the final answer here was 133. I have rounded it off to 130. You always need to round it off to whole number. And as we are talking about spacing, we will always round it off to the lower value. Clear? So this will be our final answer. Now visually, how will it look? So if it is asked in question that draw a sketch, then only you will be doing this thing. If it is asked in your GTO examination that draw sketch and design the shear reinforcement, so this will be our cross section area that will provide the details of the cross section, that is B and D in the number of bars, and this will be the longitudinal section that will provide the spacing of stirrups. Clear? So this vertical lines shows the stirrups, and this distance is the spacing between them, that is SV. So if it is asked in question to draw or to provide a sketch of reinforcements, then you need to draw these both diagrams showing the bars. As it is a singly RC beam, the top portion or the compression zone will carry anchor bars. If it was doubly, it would have carried compression steel. Clear? So this is our first sum that we discussed. Now moving on to the second sum, keep a note of it. It is a mandatory and important sum for your GTO examination because it is somewhat different to what we have seen till now. So moving forward, the question here is a RCC beam 350 cross 600 mm deep effective, that means small d is given, is provided with 5 numbers of 20 mm diameter bars, that is AST is provided, out of which 2 numbers of 20 are bent up. Keep in mind this is a typical question where here bent up bars are provided. Clear? So we'll be using somewhat different equation regarding this. Here total number of bars are 5, as you can see here. Total numbers of bars are 5, and out of this 5 bars, 2 bars of the same diameter obviously are bent up at 45 degrees near the supports. The beam has to resist a factored shear force of 240 kilonewton. So we use directly given in question as 240 kilonewton. Now we need to do 2 things in this. The first thing is to find contribution of concrete and the contribution of bent up bars towards the shear resistance, that how much concrete will act towards shear reinforcement and how much bent up bars will act towards the shear reinforcements or shear resistance. And the second thing is to find the spacing or design the spacing of 8 mm dia MS. Keep in mind here it is asked in question to use 8 mm diameter stirrups, so we will be using only 8 mm diameter stirrups, and that also being 2-legged vertical stirrups. Clear? To resist the remaining shear force. Now what do you mean by remaining shear force? As the bars are bent up, some portion of shear will be resisted by these bent up bars, some portion will be resisted by this concrete, and the remaining portion out of this total, that is 240, we will be designing it for vertical stirrup. So this is our question. We will see graphically what actually the question means. So here you can see that this is the cross section. There are 5 numbers of bar, 2 anchor bars, and a hook, or you can say a stirrup ring is provided to withstand the bars. And here you can see the actual diagram of the stirrups. These bars that are the horizontal bars are our longitudinal bar or main bars, and the vertical bars here are the stirrups. So you can see here that 5 bars are mentioned. These are the same bars. In longitudinal section you can see only 1 number of bar in that. So here it is asked in question that at supports, out of these 5 bars, 2 bars are bent up. That means 2 bars are moving from tension zone to compression zone at columns or at supports. 2 numbers of bar out of these 5 are moving from tension zone towards compression zone at an angle 45 degree. It is mentioned in the question. Clear? So the figure will be somewhat this way, that total numbers that were coming through were 5 numbers of 20 mm diameter, and here the remaining will be 3. Out of these 5, 3 numbers will go straight towards the column and 2 numbers of bar will be used as bent up. So we need to see another equation for this, that is for bent up. But the first, to identify whether to provide minimum steel or to actually design a shear reinforcement, we will always undergo a step 1, that is the similar thing. We need to find tau v and tau c. So moving forward, the first thing will be to find tau v. The equation will be the same. Tau v will be equal to Vu by Bd. Vu is already given in question as 240. So Vu will be 240 into 10 raised to 3 divided by Bd. That means this cross section area that is given in the question. The answer comes out to be 1.142 Newton per mm square. Next, we will be calculating the value of tau c, and tau c again from the same table we will be finding. For that we need to find PT, and for PT we will be requiring AST. So AST will be 5 numbers of 20 mm that is given in the question, which comes out to be 1570 mm square, and PT comes out to be 0.747. Clear? Now 0.747 here, if you interpolate it, it will be round off to 0.75. So in this case, if you interpolate, then also we will be getting the same answer. If you don't interpolate, then also we will be getting same answer, as the value comes out to be 0.747. If you substitute it towards 2 decimal points, it will be getting 0.75, and 0.75 value can be obtained from your table directly. So in this case there is no need to interpolate. Interpolation is required only when the decimal values up to 2 limits are not provided in this first column. Clear? So we'll be taking tau c as 0.56. So comparing these two cases, we get that tau v is greater than tau c. That means shear reinforcements are to be designed. Now for shear reinforcement are to be designed, again the criteria here are been mentioned of bent. So what we need to change? We need to change here that the question, the first question here is find the contribution of concrete. Clear? So this equation, as we have discussed in the last lecture, was of VUS. So VUS was VU minus tau c BD. Clear? VUS was VU minus tau c BD. Now VUS means shear force to be resisted by stirrups. VU was the total shear force. VUS was the shear force to be resisted by stirrups. So to find the shear force that is to be resisted by stirrups, the equation was VU minus tau c BD. That means total shear force minus shear force resisted by concrete. So this portion here, that is tau c BD, is the shear force that is resisted by concrete, and that is, as it is asked, find contribution of concrete. So that value will be equal to tau c BD. Clear? So shear reinforcement to be resisted by concrete will be equal to tau c BD. We have everything in the question provided. The tau c value we have identified, B and A are given in question. So that value comes out to be 117600 Newton. Now we need to find VUS. The equation will be same. VUS will be equal to VU minus tau c BD. So that comes out to be 122,400 Newton. Now we will be do something different, that is to find the shear that is resisted by bent up bars, and for that we will be again using this page, that is page 73, but other equation. You can see here clause C is mentioned. You can see here clause C is mentioned in same page, that is page 73. It states that for single bar or single group of parallel bars that are given in the question, or bent up bar at the same section, at the same cross section. So this equation is to be provided when bent up bars are given in question, or when the bars are bent in towards some degree. Here it is mentioned as 45 degree. So the equation here is VU equal to 0.87 F5 ASV sin alpha. Clear? So we need to find this value, that is shear resisted by bent up bars. Shear force that is resisted by bent up bars will be equal to VUS. We have already calculated VUS, so substituting it to be VUS1. The equation is 0.87 F5 ASV sin alpha. Now keep in mind here we are bending the main bars. Clear? Out of the 5 that were parallelly growing through, we are bending 2 numbers of bar. So here ASV will be referring to our main steel. It is not the calculation of stirrups. Keep in mind, the calculation of stirrups, that is the SV equation, we are calculating ASV to be 2 into pi by 4 our MS steel, that is diameter of MS steel. But here for bent up bars we are bending our main steel. So here ASV will be 2 into pi by 4 20 square. Why 2? Because 2 numbers of bars are bent. If it was given equation that 3 numbers of bars are bent, then the area here will be 3 into pi by 4 20 square. Clear? So this is the thing to be remembered, and the answers comes out to be 628.3. So solving it we get an answer 160405.55 Newton. But keep in mind there is something more related to this whenever bent up bars are given in question. If bent up bars are not given in question, there is no need to worry about. But when it is mentioned in question as we are solving bent up bars, here this paragraph is very important. You can see in your page number 73, it says that where bent up bars are provided, their contribution towards shear resistance means VUS1. Their contribution towards shear reinforcement, that means VUS1, shall not be more than half that of total. Clear? It means VUS1 should not be more than half of total, and total was VU. So we can compare, or VUS, we can compare here that VUS should not be greater than or equal to 0.5 VUS. We need to find this. And now as we have calculated VUS was 122 point something. The value of VUS that we are getting was 122 point something, that you can see here 122,400, and VUS1 we are getting 160,405. So by comparing it we can see that this relation is not satisfied. Clear? That means VUS1 is not greater than or equal to 0.5 VUS1. This relation is not satisfied. So whenever this relation is not satisfied, we will always take VUS1 equal to 0.5 VUS. When this relation is not satisfied, we will always be taking VUS1, that is the shear to be resisted by the bent up, will always be equal to 0.5 into VUS. So now this value is not required. We will be using directly this value, that is VUS equal to 0.5 VUS. Clear? So net VUS, that is total VUS, or the final equation that is to be used in equation, will be equal to VUS, that means this value, minus 50% of it. Clear? This value minus 50% of it. That means the answer becomes 61200 Newton. So this will be the final shear force that is to be designed for shear reinforcement. So now the procedure will be same, that we will be finding SV, and SV again will be found from the same method, that is SV can be obtained from this equation that is given in your page 73 for vertical stirrups. SV equal to 0.87 F5 ASV D upon net VUS. Net VUS, as we have seen previously, was 61200 Newton. Now keep in mind this is design of stirrups. So the criteria or the equations to be put are also to be kept for stirrups. So Fy in this case will be 250. ASV will be for stirrups, that is 2 into pi by 4 h square. D will be the effective depth, and net US will be considering it to be this value. Clear? So that answer comes out to be 214.36 mm. Now we need to check the remaining 3 cases which are given in page number. This is provided in page 47 and this is provided in page 48. Clear? So this value, first equation is our 0.5D. Second is this, that is in no case shall the spacing less, or in no case that the spacing exceed 300 mm, and the third case is to be found from this. So solving first we get an answer 450 mm. Second case is already we know that 300 mm, and by solving this equation we get answer 156.18. So out of this all values, the lowest value will be 156 mm. There, so we will be providing spacing of 156 mm center to center. This was our question regarding to bent up bars. So for bent up bars we need to find VUS1. That is the first thing. Again, giving a brief about what we have changed. For bent up bars we need to provide VUS1, and we need to check that whether VUS1 is less than VUS or 0.5 VUS or not. If it is not less than 0.5 VUS, then VUS1 will always be taking as 0.5 VUS irrespective of what the value comes from equation C. Clear? We won't be taking the equation C value, we will be taking it as to be 0.5 VUS. Clear? And then we'll be calculating the net VUS, and then in this equation we'll be substituting the net VUS. This was the change regarding to the normal sum. So this is our today's exercise problem regarding bent up bars. So solve this as it is something different to what we have seen, and this was our topic, that it was development length and shear reinforcement. From next lecture onwards we will see something new. Thank you.